Hi, I'm Marty Nimko. Some people seem naturally funny and find humor in much that they see and experience. But if you'd like to further develop your funny bone, the following may help. First, regarding enjoying other people's humor. Sometimes there are psychological reasons we don't appreciate or show appreciation for others' humor. Might one or more of those apply to you? For example, do you avoid finding or avoid showing humor because you want to feel superior? Maybe you believe that soberness makes you more substantive, a person of gravitas. If you want to change, a good place to start might be with puns. An eye roll or a groan might not be too tough to muster. Sometimes behavior change can precede attitude change. You might try these psychology-related puns, because the text is going to be in psychology today, so I picked 3 psychology-related puns. I have a split personality, said Tom, being frank. Come on, roll your eyes. It's hard to explain puns to kleptomaniacs because they always take things literally. Come on, groan. When life gives you melons, you're dyslexic. Roll your eyes and groan, but do not file a lawsuit under the Americans with Disabilities Act. Now, that little parenthetical joke about the Americans with Disabilities Act uses 3 techniques, which I'm going to describe in the next little section. After you've listened to that section, you might come back and see if you can see which of the 3 techniques were used here. Another psychological reason that people might not show humor is you want to punish the person. Not laughing at a person's attempt at humor is a passive-aggressive way to diminish them. Might your awareness of that be a baby step towards stopping that? And a final explanation is less psychological, more cultural. Do you have a hard time differentiating someone being serious from someone who is being exaggerating or being sarcastic as a joke? That can occur because some cultures and families of origins rarely exaggerate or use sarcasm for humor. That may also derive from being on the autism spectrum. In either case, it could help to see what most people find funny. For example, these have stood the test of time: the movie Annie Hall, the TV series Seinfeld, comedians George Carlin, Joan Rivers, Don Rickles, Richard Pryor, Robin Williams, or late-night monologues. For example, here are 3 from Conan O'Brien. The drought's getting really bad. The waiter at lunch today said, "Would you like a glass of water or a future for your children?" Another of his monologue jokes were, "Analysts say that Apple's actual manufacturing cost for the iPhone is $199. That's just part. When you add in the labor, $200. And the third is, Kim Jong-un won with 100% of the vote. He credits his slogan, "Vote for me or you'll be murdered." Now let's turn to being funnier. Fortunately, just one rule underpins much of what people find funny. Say the opposite of the expected. The more exaggerated, the better. A famous example occurred in a presidential debate. The moderator asked Ronald Reagan, who was 73 at the time, if he's too old to be president. He replied, "I will not make age an issue in this campaign. I am not going to exploit for political purposes my opponent's youth and inexperience." Here are some easier to implement examples. Numbers offer an easy way to use the unexpected to yield humor. For example, when you're about to say an unexpectedly small number, call it huge. For example, "I have a huge number of clients," 3 to be precise. Or if it's an unexpectedly big amount, say the word only. For example, "I had a small wedding, only 300 people. Another example of how to use humor to be surprising and do the opposite of what's expected is when your listeners expect modesty, but you do the opposite. For example, at a meeting, you're thanked and asked to say a few words. You could say something like, "I couldn't have done it without you, my coworkers, my family, and because I am the superstar of the galaxy." That also uses the rule of 3. Say 2 things that are expected and then 1 surprise. The examples I've just given demonstrate another easy way to boost your chances of being perceived as funny. Make fun of yourself. Most people want to feel superior, or at least not inferior, so making fun of yourself boosts the chances of your humor being well received. Here's a psychology-related example from Rodney Dangerfield. "I went to the psychiatrist and he says, 'You're crazy.' I tell him I want a second opinion. He says, 'Okay, you're ugly too.'" Henny Youngman on the same topic. "I was so ugly when I was born, the doctor slapped my mother." Another way to boost your humor is to tell a story. If you tend not to be funny, though, you may improve by practicing a 1-minute version of a story from your personal life that you consider funny. Vary your tone and pause before key moments, especially the punchline. You might tell it into the voice recorder on your phone. Keep practicing until you think it's funny. Then try it out on a trusted friend. In this case, practice does make perfect, or at least good enough, or at least not a total bomb. Now that little joke uses the aforementioned rule of 3, perhaps unsuccessfully. That latter phrase, perhaps unsuccessfully, uses the make fun of yourself principle. As with most characteristics, being funny or even appreciative of humor is only somewhat malleable. If your attempts at improving your humor don't yield sufficient results, it may be time for self-acceptance and to focus on building on your strengths. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I'm Marty Nemko. I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.